She follows me on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram. As far as I'm concerned, we're best friends, you know? So I just, when I got to see our Christmas special that just aired over the holidays, I just looked back at it, and my sister was watching it from home, and we were texting. She's like, I just can't believe that you met Paula Abdul, because my sis and I would literally listen to her music nonstop. That Forever Your Girl album was on repeat. So it was, and just to, they say you never want to meet your idols, but I've actually met quite a few of them, and they're that much better in person because they're so humble and kind and fun. So it's been pretty awesome.
I think that's why this show, I Can See Your Voice, is so good too. It's because, you know, you're there and Ken is there and Cheryl's there, but you have this like roving, you know, guest panel and guests. It's such a like who's who, like Kelly Osbourne, Brian Austin Green.
Jewel. We had Jewel. And I was like, Jewel, you're my whole junior high school life. Like, I was like, in the pouring rain, like, you know, like those, like, dreams last even after I know that you love me. Like, I literally used to cry to that song, and I don't think I even had a boyfriend or had ever experienced love. And I was in junior high school just bawling my eyes out listening to Jewel, and to actually meet her and have her on the show. And I've got to say, the other thing I love about the show is we actually get to see these huge celebrities' personality. Like, you know, you can see someone sing their song and do a simple interview, but they're in the thick of an intense game. So their reactions are wild. Their input is pretty hysterical. Like Jewel was like, these people are lying to me. And I was cracking up. I would have never known that Jewel was so hysterical and fun and funny. And it's been so awesome to have these incredible celebrities come on here and really guess. They're trying to figure it out the same way we are.
What about how was working with Bob Saget?
Oh,
I know.
I've got to say, I don't ever ask for pictures, like ever. Like I always feel like, they probably don't, like this is so, I'm trying to be professional here, but I fangirl on the inside. But like I didn't ask Jewel for a picture, which I would have loved. But when it came to Bob, not only did I ask for the picture because he's so iconic and was such a huge part of my childhood, he's America's dad, but he made me feel comfortable enough to ask for the picture. Do you get what I mean? Like, he went out of his way to just be like, oh my gosh, like so down to earth and kind. And like, I didn't know if he was going to be like super, you just never know. He wasn't even professional. He was like above and beyond. Like, I've known you my whole life, chatting with me, making jokes. And it's just really heartbreaking, you know, that he's gone. It's just heartbreaking. But I'm so glad that I got to meet him on this show. So glad.
Were you just like lurking and approaching and saying like, I don't know how to ask for this picture?
I just sat there. And if I'm honest, I think he could sense that I was like, oh my God. Because we took a group picture and I was like, can somebody make sure that they send it to, like, I got like weird. And he was the one that was like, why don't we just take a picture for you? Like, who does that? Who does that? Like, we were done with the show. It was over. You know, people want to speed out and head out and go on with their lives. And he just was hanging and like sat back and took pictures with me and a few other people that were asking. So he is an example of what I hope to be, that if somebody ever looked up to me, that they'd feel comfortable enough to ask a picture. And if I felt they weren't, that I'd ask them, hey, do you want this picture? It's all good. Yeah, I was inspired by that.
I love that. I say always ask for the picture. So even though you don't, just call me. I'll give you some pointers. I agree. I'm like, I don't want to, but like in 20 minutes, I'm going to be pissed that I didn't. So I'm just going to ask you for a picture now. Sorry.
So I should be mad right now that I love Leanne Rimes. Her song, How Could I Live Without You, was like my jam. I think I actually have it on a cassette tape because I taped it off of Z100. Like, this is back in the day when that was like a huge song, taped it off of the radio from Z100. And she's next week's episode. And I'm going to watch back the episode and be like, why didn't I ask for a picture?
Maybe you'll see her again one day.
I hope so.
Well, listen, you're busy with your day job on I Can See Your Voice. You're busy with The Real, but you know, you talk about people looking up to you. Lots of people look up to you because of the Cheetah Girls.
Yes.
Would you ever, I mean, is there ever going to be a reunion, a tour?
I never would say never. I would prefer a tour only because my worry would be that we'd ruin it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd never want to ruin something where, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Sex and the City. And I've got to be honest, I actually love And Just Like That, because in all honesty, those women, in my opinion, can do no wrong. They could have sat on screen together and sang Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'd have been like, it's great. It's just great. But there are people that, are like, this isn't what I expected, whatever. So I would hate to have that reaction to something we do with the Cheetah Girls. So that would be my only hesitation.
You would go with the tour route as opposed to like a movie.
Versus like the tour, we just do the songs and perform them live. So it wouldn't be a change. It'd be like the same songs, maybe some new choreography. But yeah, I think that would be cool.
And you love And Just Like That. Like, are you shocked at all of the people that don't?
I never liked Big. So I thought it was a toxic relationship to begin with. I never understood it. He left her out. He broke her heart the whole series. And then the movie, he leaves her at the altar. I just was not a fan of Big. I felt like, had Big been an amazing man to her and actually possibly gone with her for once, joined her and her friends, and was genuinely threaded into her life with her friends and her family, he would have been at the recital. Then he wouldn't have died. That's how I feel. And I was really triggered by, like, sadly, girlfriends of mine posting on Instagram, like, I can't believe Big is gone. And I was like, y'all are the ones in toxic relationships. I know what's happening here.
It wasn't a good relationship.
It wasn't. And I feel like so many people are going to be able to relate to the fact of wanting to be with someone so badly for so much of your life, finally getting that. And do I think she was happy? Yes, she was happy, right? Do I think it was the ultimate happiness she could ever have in her life? No. And at whatever age she's at, which I think she's playing her mid-50s like she is in real life, I do believe she can still have that. I do believe that she may meet someone, because everyone's like, oh, go back to Aiden, bring Aiden back. Aiden wasn't the love of her life either. Aiden was lukewarm for her. It wasn't everything. It wasn't, oh my God, I love you. You give me the rush. And at the same time, I can be myself with you. Carrie stopped smoking cigarettes for Big. Now, granted, I appreciate that it was good for her health, but I think that there were things that he made her change about herself that were maybe part of her quirks and who she really is. So I appreciate the one cigarette around the block now. It's a once in a while thing. I'm not pro smoking cigarettes at all, but you get what I mean for the character that she was. So I think if I was one of the writers on this show, I think it would give so many women hope for either husbands that have passed away, people that are divorced later on in their life, and they feel like they've spent this whole lifetime of love with this one man. I believe that it can be even better later on, and that I think this love is going to be what she deserved all along.
See, if there's a season 2, they should just call you.
Come on.
Please, let's
have a season 2. I'm 2 seasons behind. I know yesterday was the season finale, so I got to catch up tonight.